Good afternoon, gang. David Gupple, Thinker Farmer here. Alan and I were walking the fences on the Joy Wade property and getting ready to move some cattle. And Alan was pointing out to me a few things that he's seen over the years. Alan, tell us kind of what you were telling us earlier about this. This is Muddy Creek here, right?
Yes, this is Muddy Creek. It hits Locust Creek down by Pershing Park, and then it goes on down and hits Grand Creek that dumps into the Missouri River down by Brunswick.
And you were telling us, well, right across there, where those tracks are, they're kind of cut in. There used to be a road right through here.
Yes, they had no cabin across there that they could drive a D15 across here, and they'd spend the weekend down that cabin. And but the Muddy Creek has widened and deepened out. They straightened it sometime in the 30s, but yet it never got this big until really the last 15 years.
Wow. So in the last 15 years, you can't cross here. I mean, I wouldn't take anything over the edge here, not even you'd probably flip a four-wheeler trying to go over this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not let alone a tractor.
But all this dirt is washed in here because this was a gradual slope down here that we actually would put electric fence down into the creek and water the cattle out of the creek.
Yeah, you're not going to water the cattle out of that. They'd cut so much soil trying to go down that bank.
And you can look across there where the creek's washing out the tree roots. The trees are falling into the creek.
And
that was probably 20 feet away from the creek 15 years ago.
20 feet away from that tall oak tree there. Wow. Now, Alan, that's really fast, and we know creeks do wash out, but what you're saying is, you've been watching this creek now for probably 3 or 4 decades at least.
Well, I never was back in here until we owned the property about 15 years ago. But you know, the creeks, they straightened them back in the 30s, and now they're trying to meander back around because the creek never stays straight.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just the natural process of the creek making its curves and everything. But we had a series of 5, 6, 7, 8 inch rains that's really what cut out this creek here. And then now in the last year and a half, we haven't had those rains.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to say this, Alan. When you do crop farming, more water runs off, and soil too, and a 5 to 6 inch rain, there's no way any of that water, or not most of that water, is not going to get taken in on a crop field. If you've got a pasture setting, you're going to have some runoff, but I would guess in the last 20 years you've had way more fields that were pastures become crop farms around here, and that's probably helping to contribute to this creek washing out. I don't know, of course we can't prove that, but I mean, on the whole,
well,
I mean
some of the row crop farmers are starting to use cover crops, and, you know, turnips, radishes, triticale, rye, and whatnot, and that's helping.
That should help.
But there's very few that are doing that at present time.
Right. Yeah.
And so I think that there is a way of doing it.
Yeah, I mean, you and I aren't against all crop farming, but it's more responsible crop farming, and really a lot of the crop farming that's being done to grow corn for beef, it'd be better if it was being used for grass. We'd be causing a lot less erosion. Yeah, anyway, I just think about it, and I've seen examples before where you do a lot of erosion and a lot of just a lot of water gets lost. and it's simply because of the type of farming being done. And you get examples of this where instead of being able to walk across a creek, now you've got just, I mean, you could drive, man, you could flip a vehicle very easily here. Anyway,
in the middle of summer, where this creek will go pretty much dry.
Right, yeah, well, when it gets dry like that, yeah. All right, gang, I thought it was pretty interesting. Hope y'all are having a great day. Blessings for the journey, and keep it real.